make big fights, right, Kathy? Right, big fights, right, Oscar? All right. We want to make big fights with all the champions. And when you put two guys in there that has pride and has championship titles, whether they're legends or they new champions, or current champions who got to build their legacy up from there. This, what you do, this what you risk, and this what boxing should be all about. And this what you'll get. So I just hope everybody enjoyed the main event, because there's more to come. At least from us. I can't speak from any other promoter, but at least from us, Golden Boy Promotion is looking to do big fights in big weight division. And the lightweight division, you just seen the best of the best in the ring. Any questions?
What about you? What about you fighting guys?
What about me?
You said you were the best when I
Me fighting again?
Golovkin or Chavez?
Asking me to fight right now, just like asking a woman that just was a 9-hour labor to have she have another baby. So, but I tell you what, I tell you what, you can't take nothing away from the champ. You can't take nothing away from Kovalev, Sergey. He fought a smart fight. He knew to do the things that not engage in something that was going to benefit me, which is, my style. But he fought a good fight, and you know what? The night was a good night for the lightweight division and for boxing. I really mean that. As this is the business side of Bernard Hopkins was talking, because I have enough sense and enough knowledge of the game to understand whether we talk before the fight. Y'all know what that is. Most of us mean it. But at the end of the day, this is what this should be about. I don't duck anyone, he don't duck anyone. And we showed tonight, we gave y'all, I'm hope and sure, some entertainment. And so, let's just hope this becomes something very, very, common in boxing. Any more questions?
Bernard?
Yes. Yeah.
You're always number one to me. You remember me from Philadelphia? The police empowerment show?
After going 12 rounds of fighting, I don't remember nobody right now.
It took me for 3 hours.
When he's done, we'll come in the back. Media only, please. Media. Bernard, over here. Over here.
Can you assess Kovalev's punching power? He did drop you. That's not a common thing. What kind of puncher is he really? We've seen so many great knockouts in him, but how hard is he?
Well, I think, not taking nothing away from him, but I think that one or two of those punches was flash knockdowns. It wasn't a punch where I was all over the place. I recovered very quickly, as you know. Well, I think the fight went the distance. But I just got a great chin. I can take a punch. I mean, forget the age. I can say 49 years old, 50. Bernard, you can take more than a punch. I'm not going to even ride on that. Y'all make that assessment. But I think, and I've never been in a business to prove whether I can take a punch or not, because I try to tell the fighters, including Sergey right now, is that you don't last long trying to take punches and proving you can take punches. Yes, we know that it's a possibly chance you're going to trying to hit somebody, but the volunteer to say you can take one is a fool. And if you want to stay around and be a great champion, that advice will take you a long way, because you got the skills, as you know. You got the titles to prove it. So my thing is, this man is a champion. As far as I'm concerned, he is the guy to beat at the lightweight division. And so for credibility, that's why I took a shot, because the danger is always there with a puncher. And obviously, the other light heavyweight didn't want to fight him. And I chose to fight him. And I'm not looking for a cigar for second place or a pat on the back. No, I'm not, because I'm not that type of guy. But I'm just saying I recognize real. And I've been in there with a lot of great fighters, from the middleweights to now. And Sergey is the real deal. I don't care if he's from here, United States, or Russia, or whatever. You got to respect the man, and I respect him, and I'm pretty sure he respects me too.
Were you determined to last out that 12th round?
I was determined to try to hit him so I could pin him down. I wouldn't. Did that look like it was trying to survive in the 12th? We was rumbling. I mean, think about it. It wasn't. Listen, I could have tried to hold him and grab him with most sensible people would have tried to do, right? I was trying to swing and hopefully get some shots in where things can be changed around to the end. And that's what you're seeing in the 12th round. So no, I wasn't going to run around and hold and do things to just get by and say I survived. When you look at it tomorrow, when it's replayed on HBO, you will see in your own living room that me and Sergey was throwing punches all the way up to the bell ring. And that's what it's all about. Yes, I'm always a smart thinking fighter first, but sometimes you just got to bite down, man. And he bit down, and I bit down. And you know, you got to respect that. You got to respect that.
Bernard, Oscar was talking about his ability to not fall into the traps that you've set in the past and to keep distance. What is your overall assessment, scouting report, post-fight on him? Break it down on him.
Well, everything just said. I mean, it's not even hard to really to try to explain what you've already seen and what we just already talked about with the 3 or 4 questions before yours. First of all, he has, I believe, would be a Hall of Fame trainer who worked with me and I worked with him, and it's John David Jackson. And you got to give him respect. Because John David Jackson, for whatever you think, is a school student of the game, and he comes from the school of the game. And he had just as much training in Philadelphia when he lived there for many years, like myself. So you gotta look at his teacher too, not a trainer, a teacher, and you gotta look at that, and you gotta look at now what the product become, and that's just what it is. So when you got that, you can't take it for granted. You can't take that particular Sergey for granted, because you know he got a good teacher. You know, we say what we say to try to throw things off, but at the end of the day, we know that John been in the trenches with us. John been in the trenches by himself in Philadelphia for many, many years when he was champion. It's John David Jackson. So that has to be respected, and that played out today. So you have to give him credit and give him credit and applause right now, because he did a fine job.
Bernard, you had mentioned immediately afterwards some of the things that Sergey was doing that were giving you trouble. What were the things that you felt that you couldn't do during the fights?
Well, first of all, I couldn't overpower him. I couldn't overpower. I don't know if it just felt. I just felt like a middleweight in there, maybe a super middleweight in there with a cruiserweight. I don't know what it looked like to y'all, but I couldn't get in the range that I wanted to get into, and the range was the length. You know, whether it was his height, his reach, his stepping back, because he was stepping back when I wanted to engage, and that's smart, because we are taught not to engage because a guy your opponent want to engage. I mean, you fight when you want to fight. You make him fight when you want to fight. That's part of the strategy of any seasoned fighter, is taught from a teacher that had been taught himself, and that's what it was. I really couldn't get inside to do the work I wanted to do, and I had some success, but not a lot. I had some success here and there, but it wasn't enough to pitch some early rounds in the bank and get his respect to the point where he got off his game, because he never got off his game, and you know, there was some excitement at the end, but he controlled it earlier more than I did, or I got my little rounds at the end of the fight.
And how much or how little of that do you feel is because you're 49 and can't do maybe what you might have been able to do a few years beforehand?
Well, everything he did because I'm 49 and no. Listen, my age has been well publicized. I'll be 50 January 15th. I'm closing in on it. And like I said, I won't teach my kids or anybody else to be happy for second. I don't like to lose. My track record shows that. And to say 50, you won because of your age, that's taken away from him, and I don't think nobody should do that. I think that being 50 and being me is different than any other fighter you can put in there in any era. With any guy that would do the game plan or map the game plan or study the game plan that Sergey did, you just got to take your hat off to him. But I know for a fact that win, lose, or draw, I don't go out saying I'm 49 because things didn't go my way. Because if you ain't supposed to be in there, you shouldn't be in the ring, no matter what age you are. If you don't want to be in there, what age you lose, you lose. So my thing is, I want to go in there and make history and be the light heavyweight champion of the world. Like I said to Oscar when he was doing this fight, or putting this fight together. And I told the world I wanted to leave the game, or at least establish what I did in the middleweight division. And I had my shot, and that's cool. That's what happens. Next.
One more question.
Bernard,
Bernard, you're one of the greatest fighters of my generation. Nobody had a problem co-signing that. You might be speaking very prematurely.
No.
Any chance of a rematch?
A rematch with who? What? Man, I ain't thinking. What? Yeah, no, we get a rematch at, so we can eat a burger quicker. A veggie burger.
That guy right there.
Bernard,
Can you stand up so he can
Sorry,
see you?
Bernard.
Hold on, last question.
Bernard, we spoke Wednesday on the radio, and I asked you if you won, what would it mean? You said that'd be like asking Jordan which one of his 6 rings did he like the most.
You said great answer.
And I didn't have anything to say, but now that you got in the ring and saw how skilled he was, do you feel a sense of accomplishment that you got through this from where you were when we spoke the other day?
So you're asking me, do I feel a victory because I got through
Not
12?
victory, a sense of accomplishment that you got through this.
If
Now
it's
knowing his skill.
but great answer, great question, but not if it's tied into tonight. Because to me, winning is everything.
Right.
I don't compromise winning. Either you win or you lose. That's what I was taught, and that's the way I operate. Tonight, he was a better man, and that's cut and dry. You can't water down that. You can't add anything to that. He deserves to be respected amongst all the writers. And I'm gonna say this in front of everybody. I don't know how they're gonna tally things up in the next Oscar couple of months or whatever, but he's a strong candidate for Fighter of the Year. He's a strong candidate for Fighter of the Year. I really, listen, y'all don't want to do the vote. I'm just telling you. That's my opinion. You know why? Because ain't no one out there would have fought a fight like that. I don't believe with me the way he did. He was smart. He was patient. He didn't get caught up in emotional when I tried to suck him in, and that was part of the early strategy that worked good for him. One more, you.
Stand up, please.
You passed the torch down to the lost the fight. Only seems to build your legacy again. At this point in the game, if you decide to walk away, do you feel that you should pass the torch down to the
To pass the torch in a light heavyweight division or pass the torch in boxing period? Well, he already got the torch. I don't have to pass it. He got the torch tonight. See, Sergey, tell him. I can speak Russian now. You want me to tell him? I can. Tell him he already have the torch in the light heavyweight division. Because he established himself.
He's answering you. He's answering.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I feel comfortable to say that as a light heavyweight champion, that if he wants to stay in there and defend it, he's going to have it for a long time. It's up to him how long he want to keep it. He can keep it long enough. He kept the middleweight division belt for 12 years. It's up to him. and that's in time. We don't know yet. But I know right now, tonight, I can say that I'm not glad that I didn't win, but I can say that it's in good hands. Thank you.